Ladies and gentlemen, to Just Joking, the podcast live from Alex Murdoch's murder room. Welcome to Just Joking. I am your host, Kevin Dombrowski. I would say usually in this part, joined as always by our producer and then make fun of whatever he's wearing, Adam Hineker. But the show is changing a little bit. This is the new version of the show. We are happy to be a part of the Shuli Network. We are live right now streaming on the Shuli Network. If you're watching, we appreciate it. If you're not, hopefully you do in the future. If you're a fan of the show and you're listening, as always, thank you. Thanks for coming back. Should we say that, Joe? Should we do thank you for being a friend?
I think we should thank this guy for becoming a new member.
Okay, let's do that. Let's start there. This is how the show is going to change first. We have Pernum531 became a YouTube member. Guys, is it wrong for me to take credit of that already? 3 seconds of the broadcast?
I already text Shuli that you should get a cut of that.
Well, there's no price next to it, so I'm going to assume a cut of 0 is 0, which means we are now profitable. Some things are changing. If you guys are fans of the existing show already, you know what we do every week. I've got some news stories. We run through it. I'll have a different comic each week to be a guest and co-host, if you will, just showing what comics do. And this is episode 151. If you're an existing patron of the show, if you will, although we don't have a Patreon. Although we do on this network. So there's some things are changing, some things are staying the same. Unfortunately, Adam Hineker is no longer with the show. Our thoughts and prayers to his family. He is still alive, but our thoughts and prayers that he is still alive. Adam is packed up on some actual professional projects rather than wasting his life on this show with me. So joining us now, Dave Delafour in the chat says hi. If you are listening to this, as usual, on the Libsyn feed, the RSS, Apple, Spotify, wherever backwoods cave you listen to this, in shame, which I assume if you do listen to this show, it is in shame somewhere in a corner. Preferably naked, sometimes clothed. It depends. Joe, we get some pictures of that. Is that going to bother you?
Not even a little bit.
Like in this already.
You haven't heard about have you heard about our group text?
I've not. Is it naked pictures of fans?
Not fans, but it's
each other.
There's interesting photos that get passed around in there.
Oh wow. I know you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think we should just start a bowling league already. Let's get into it. Just bowling shirts, no pants, group photo, and we'll all make it our iPhone background. How does that sound to you guys?
I'm in.
I don't like the hesitation, and it also sounds like you have an Android, just judging on how slow you answered that question. Joining us, which will be week in and week out, Kevin's internet is worse than Bob. Okay, so let me address that right away. If you're a fan of the show, you know usually I broadcast from home where I've got a decent internet, depending on the package that my wife purchased for me that week. This week, I am on the road in New Orleans, not for a gig. I'm at a wedding. And then Saturday, actually, shameless plug, will be in Poughkeepsie, New York at the Laugh It Up Comedy Club. So it all makes the trip or tax write-off. You guys don't have the IRS watching this, do you, Joe?
You know, that's more an ESO question, I think.
So I'll address that to ESO. Also, if you cannot hesitate on legal questions, that would also give me more confidence.
It takes me a minute to unmute myself, or a split second to unmute myself. That's
Let's just leave it open. Let's just leave it open. Let's just do it like Robin and Howard.
Then you're going to hear all the nonsense going on in the background around here.
That's fair. All right, whatever you feel like doing, I'm fine with that. I'll just give you a half a second there. I'm in New Orleans right now. As you can see, I've hijacked the Your Mom's House set from Tom and Christina P. They were kind enough in their satellite murder hotel room to give us access to this studio. No, so we are. I'm broadcasting from there, so apologies if the internet is a little spotty. Joining us.
I swallow cum.
I'm sorry. That's just been happening all week. I couldn't resist it. Sorry.
That scared the shit out of me. That is normally Adam will just make some stupid joke. That one physically shook my body. I was like, this is it. This is how the show actually ends. Is I get murdered by some alien noise coming through the wall. And then Bob Levy saying I drink cum right afterwards. Which I gotta be honest with you guys. You guys know him. You know Bob from the show well. If you're an existing fan, I always thought I would be murdered with Bob Levy saying I like cum, and that's the last thing I hear. Joining us every week will be our new producers. Not that we don't love Adam. We love Adam. He'll be on the show when he's got time to come back on. But Joe and Andy are our brand new producers.
Radio?
This is exactly what I wanted the intro of the show to be. Just pure chaos and shit from my old life spilling into this. So any new fan that we're going to gain has no idea what's happening on the show. That brings a great point up, Joe. I'm glad that you did that. The show will not change. It will be comics, sitting down with other comics, just making jokes, making fun of everything that's really happening in the world. That's the point of the show. Just comics doing what they do. There will be no shortage of Gino Visconti jokes. I can promise you. We may not start with tricking a guest into making fun of Gino for the sake of the live show, but there will be Gino drops. There will be Gino jokes. Occasionally we
can trick guests into making fun of Gino, right?
Yes, we can. It's not outlawed. We just won't start the show that way. We will continue it though. So if at any point, maybe we'll have we'll create a graphic. Andy, what do you think about having a graphic of Gino Visconti fishing? And anytime I throw out some sort of line to have a Gino joke, we can have a Gino Visconti fishing graphic pop up.
Oh, that'd be good. I mean, a lot of drunk people fish, right?
Sure. There was actually 2 that just died in my town doing that. Not one of them Gino, believe it or not.
Is that drinking, fishing, or both?
It was, I think, actually, when Gino dies of alcohol poisoning, it'll technically be fishing in his lungs. So this is what the show is going to be, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I really do. We're going to have fun. Thank you to Shuli and the whole team over here for having us live every Friday. We're aiming for a 2 p.m. start to accommodate both LA and New York comics. If we do have a sliding time, that'll be posted on the network's Twitter. And it'll only be for comics with the 495. What was that? The 495 Murdoch said Gino Visconti. This is already the best thing ever. If we have a bigger guest in a sliding time, that will be posted. So if you're new to the show, we'll go through a couple stories right now to show you how it is, and then we have a guest coming in, a bona fide movie star is dropping in to do some stories, an existing guest of the show. If you are an existing fan of the show, it will continue to be as though nothing ever happened. We took a short break to get this up and running, but the biggest change now is you can watch us live. I know a lot of you, and by a lot of you, I mean 3 of you, have asked me about a video version of this. I have tattoos of all of your names. Richard Kish says, new show segment, Drunk Fishing. Oh, Kish, honestly, I drunk fish every Wednesday on Compound Media with Gino Visconti. It's I fish my career out of the toilet every time I'm on the screen with him. If you are an existing fan, you can watch the show live now. We've got a video component. It's on the Shuli Network on YouTube. Check it out. If you're new to the show, check out the audio version on our Libsyn feed or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you download podcasts. Is it safe? Is what safe, Fenton? Is it safe to broadcast with Gino? It's never safe to broadcast with Gino. I would actually rather go ice fishing in the summer than fish with Gino Visconti. Bobby Friend is a friend of the Kish Army. Absolutely. I am too. Hopefully, Kish, I see you up in Poughkeepsie this week. That would be a fun one. What were we just talking about? Existing. If you're new to the show, check out our back catalog. We've been doing this for 150 episodes. We've had everyone from Doug Stanhope and Ari Shafir to Bobby Kelly, Bobby Collins, Mark Norman, Judy Gold. It's been a fantastic run of shows. Our guest list is honestly probably the only reason we're on this network. And we thank each and every one of them for giving us anything to talk about. So this is the show. What if I just ended it there? This is the show. I'm going to bring in Joe and Andy. Do you guys want to do a couple news stories with me just to get the juices flowing?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Andy, if you could take your shirt off again like we did in the meeting, it would make me feel more comfortable.
Yeah, sure. I just got my pants up, so one thing at a time.
I like
a guy the show a lot more than I thought I would.
Sure. This is going to be a free-for-all. What are you kidding me? I like a guy that gets dressed in stages throughout the day. That's my favorite.
I'm due for a stage in about 15 minutes.
That should be a new segment. Gina Levy, by the way, you're the best. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in and watching Bob's lovely wife. And I think we can all agree. Much
regardless, the best.
Oh, Gina is absolutely amazing. If you are an existing fan of the show, you know Bob. If you're new to the show, you might know Bob even better. And we can all agree Gina is the absolute best. We did a roast of Gino Visconti at Stand Up New York. And I said, out of all the wives that Bob Levy has had, he finally smartened up at his old age and just married a nurse.
Clam radio.
That's we can actually thank. I think we can thank Bob Levy for the fact that we all know what Clam Radio and Gino Visconti is because he gave comedy birth to him. So
I don't know what that drop is. It's just hilarious.
Dude. So let me explain what that drop is because I think new viewers would be curious as to the Gino Visconti relationship here. Bob Levy is to Gino Visconti what Gino Visconti is to me. So we can call Bob Levy my comedy grandfather. Gino would be my comedy dad or daddy as he likes. And then I've just been trying to kill myself ever since. Gino Visconti. This is actually, wait, do you guys end every pilot with drinking bleach? Because I've got some on the side. I can do it right now.
I'll think about it. My skin's a little pale, so I'll probably pass.
You know what scares me about that, Joe, is that I feel like Andy considered it in that moment.
I just now realized I might.
Well, no, I just had a flashback of when I used to drink, but it's been like 15 years. You kind of,
Sure. Well, I don't want to bring those memories back. Did your last day look like the background of my video right now?
Yeah, it did. Actually, I was just on the phone with the police giving them your location.
I'm on my mobile hotspot. I'm sure the FBI is zooming in at any point now.
Yeah, you just made the top 10 list.
Letterman's top 10 reasons you should kill yourself in a hotel room. Paul, what do you think? If you're a fan of the show, Gino Visconti, basically the whole reason we make fun of Gino is he was the first guest. Artie Lang was supposed to be the second. If you've heard the story, I apologize 1,000 times. Artie canceled the second week. So we brought Gino back because, let's be honest, he was sleeping in the studio. Right. And then Carlos Mencia was the third week, and he said he only came on because of Gino. So everything's been a callback to that. So the Clam Radio drop is one of the many Gino Visconti references we'll probably have throughout the show.
Clam Radio?
Gino was so wasted on his show in hot water. When I do when I get this, we do a show called Whiskey Wednesdays sometimes where it's just myself and Gino Visconti making fun of each other and a bunch of dudes in the studio drinking whiskey, watching some of them violently masturbating. And it's been an issue for all of us. Gino just being violent. We would rather he masturbate. So Gino got drunk and asked Frankie McDonald, our friend, the weatherman from Nova Scotia.
Yep.
if he Frankie does ham radio every Wednesdays with Eddie Finacco. There's a plug right there. I don't know what any of those words mean, but they're burned into my brain because I hear them once a week. So Gino Visconti and the crew ask Frankie's if he's ever done any other type of radio, like ham, like pork chop radio or spam radio. So then
clam radio.
There was a radio plugged into a giant clam. And he said, Frankie, have you ever done clam radio? And Frankie said, there's no such thing as clam radio. And he goes, okay. And Gino was so drunk. He goes, okay, but have you ever done clam radio? And he repeated the same sentence 3 times. And I finally had to go, are you okay? What is wrong? Like throw up a signal if you need help. And he didn't know that he said it. This is spam radio. You're absolutely right, Bobby.
This is going great.
A meeting of the mindless.
100%. So they isolated that clam radio drop and played it for me the next time I was on Gino's show. And I don't know that I've laughed harder broadcasting than hearing every single letter of clam radio. Joe, hit that one more time if you can.
Clam radio.
It's the longest 2 words in recorded history.
I agree.
It sounds like he hit a speed bump between clam and radio.
Yeah.
And then maybe some acid reflux came up while he was doing it. I've never heard someone take longer to say 2 words, including Fred the Elephant Boy, including all of the Whack Packers. It is truly, I mean, it might have broken world records, to be honest, if we're thinking about it.
You know he's watching this now. By now, someone sent it to him.
You know, if I thought that there was a chance that he was actually awake from whatever puddle of alcohol he's in his railroad, right, in his railroad apartment, waiting for a freight train to come take him away. What's up, Brad? Thanks for watching, bud. What's up, boys and girls? Here he is. Gino Visconti himself.
I told you. It basically
became the whole episode. I can't believe that you're awake right now. Put that back up. What is he saying? Gino Visconti. Hey, why don't you donate, you son of a bitch? Fucking, this guy's not even doing
I think
super.
we all know the answer to that question.
Oh, you're still drunk, Gino. Become a member.
The whole episode the following day. It is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life, unintentionally and intentionally. It covers everything. I don't know that I've ever seen someone's body fail to a point where I can listen to it and still see it in front of me.
Yeah. He had enough time to say that in between beers.
Yeah. I got up and went to the bathroom in between clam and radio. And then I got back and he had just finished saying radio. And that's how much time there is from the start of clam to the end of radio. I actually went home, tucked my kid in, and came back to the studio. And he was still saying the word. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to go through some news stories just to go through the flow of the show. If you're a fan, you've been waiting on this moment for the show to kick off. This is our cold opens are usually about 19 minutes. So we're right on track with what the show has always been.
And the call floors, by the way, you didn't cheap out on them. You sent a bunch.
Oh, buddy, we are well prepared. I was at breakfast panicking, just sending every story I could just to make sure that we're good here. Welcome to Just Joking. No interviews, no arguments, just jokes. Got a couple news stories. We're gonna get them going just to get the juices flowing. If you could bring up the Joe, this is perfect. This is Joe Biden. So a lot of things have happened since we've left. We took a little hiatus, I think, at the end of December. It was the 3-year anniversary episode actually with Shuli and Gino Visconti, I believe, was our last episode, where we did something Uncle Rico-esque. We went through episodes of Love Taxi, or the trailer of Love Taxi, which is Gino Visconti's failed project. Yes, and we did an Uncle Rico style show called the Aunt Olga Show, which spawned the conversation of all of this. That show will be happening on this network. Shuli and I are working out the details, where we bring in Gino and we make fun of his failed project with Gino on the show.
Nice.
So think Uncle Rico, think Who Are These Pods, think all of the gambit of the cross goofing on networks, and then add that person into the actual show itself, and that is what we're looking at with the Aunt Olga show.
That. Yeah.
That's going to be fantastic. So that was the last episode. And some things have changed. So let's catch you guys up on what we would have made fun of had the show kept going for a little bit there. Number one, we left and Joe Biden was falling upstairs. This is how long we've been gone. Joe Biden is still falling upstairs, ladies and gentlemen. I had to start with this. Now, look, I'm not a political guy, left or right. I think you're all assholes. But I have to call out, this is my favorite thing, is that the president of the free world, the biggest story when he travels is, did he get up and down the stairs okay?
Wow.
I think, like, okay. Think of the Jetsons and what they said our future would be like, right? This is how old I am that I'm quoting the Jetsons here. And think of the fact that there should be escalator stairs. There should be like an airport. You know, when you
should get him one of those things that rides the old people up the stairs in their house.
And then put a pool on Air Force One, so he doesn't have to use his muscles to get to the seat. It just like a wave pool. We'll have one of those chairs, bring him up to a wave pool, and then we'll float him over to where he's supposed to be. Like, you ever see Minority Report with the 3 cogs that are predicting the future?
Yeah.
That's the war room. Should be Joe Biden just floating on his back with the vice president massaging his temples and asking what the future of the country is going to be like.
That could be going on. We just don't know about it.
That's true. You're absolutely right.
Andy's already animating that.
Yeah, if you hear any clicking, that's me animating.
Right. What if? But let's look at this the right way. What if he's not old? What if his human skin is getting in the way of his lizard knees? Do you know what I mean? Maybe lizards weren't supposed to overtake political bodies for this long. Maybe it's like there's like an expiration date of the of the human suit that our lizard rulers wear, and that's why he's falling. It's because it's like when you rip your jeans, and then the next time you bend, they rip a little bit more. Maybe that's what's happening right now. He fell and he ripped his his human knees, and now he can't go upstairs properly again.
Yeah, and as we get older, a lot of us get smaller, right? You know, as we get older, and his skin on the outside's just staying the same size. So he's just in a larger suit.
It's like similar to when someone's obese and they get lap band surgery and they have all this excess skin. That's what's happening with Joe Biden and his lizard inner self right now. He's got all of this excess, stretch marks that are stopping him from getting in Air Force One correctly.
Need some zip ties for that skin.
Richard Kish, I'm sincerely happy that Gino is supporting his buddy today. So am I. Listen, let's should we have a sit down meeting here? I feel like this show is doing what it's meant to do right now, which is no interviews, no arguments, just jokes, people. We're just focusing. What did Gino used to say?
I would send him a link, but we just want to do comedy here, right?
Oh, let me tell you something, Joe. I don't mean this lately. You just gave me a full erection.
Oh, thank you. You don't know how happy that makes me.
I can see it from here.
Here's what I love about that. Not only did you guys go with that, but that was the most sincere and dry thank you I've heard. That's honestly, I feel like I just paid you for being a prostitute.
Clam radio.
If it's going to be dry around here, can we get Gino?
this is Clam Radio, baby. It's wet all the time. So Joe Biden is still falling upstairs, which is incredible. Leading right into our next story, the Ohio incident that's going on with Biden right now. This is kind of crazy. So this is Joe Biden has been questioned. So he fell up the stairs going, oh, by the way, we fucking missed this. That was in Poland. Joe Biden fell up the stairs in Poland. And if that's not the greatest irony of a Polish joke, how many stairs does it take for a president to get into Air Force One? I don't know. Some sort of
too
Polish...
many.
Yeah. Joe Biden tripping on stairs to get into an airplane in Poland is the closest Poland's come to a Navy. Is that...
Look at that staircase, though. My parents are 10 years younger than him and complain about the 3 steps up to their condo.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like 50 steps up to that airplane. And he's got a history of falling up things, off of things. Like, maybe we might want to consider a different way of getting him into the airplane.
100%. I think to be vice president, you shouldn't have to get elected with the president. You should do things like have to carry the president to meetings and stuff like that. If we're not going to get younger presidents, let's put the vice president to actual work, right? Let's put like a baby Bjorn on the vice president. We'll have a presidential seal, and we'll have her hold Joe Biden's neck up, much like I do with my newborn. Is we used to hold her neck up and guard it. Joe Biden should have like a baby collar around, right? And then we'll just wheel him over to the podium, and he'll give it actually sounds like a newborn speaking sometimes if you've heard him. He just you go, are you hungry? Did you poo?
Yeah. Around the eyes too.
Oh yeah, dude, that guy there's almost no cognitive skill that you have to pass to become president, as far as I'm concerned, just looking on what he's doing. Yeah. But so there were East Palestine. Here's what's crazy is Joe Biden visits Ukraine on President's Day, leaving the residents of East Palestine, Ohio, which honestly, East Palestine as a town name for Ohio is pretty progressive. I don't know how anyone else feels about that. But it threw me off that there was an East Palestine in Ohio.
It's nicer than West Bank, Indiana.
That's true. That actually sounds like
that.
That sounds like is there a West Bank, Indiana? Because it sounds like there could be.
There's a West Bend, Indiana.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's it's like the worship wall in Texas, right? It's right around the same thing.
We're getting the Gaza Strip, Canada.
The Gaza Strip, eh?
That's it.
So this train derails carrying toxic materials, and 3 days later, instead of picking the train up with the toxic materials, they decide to blow the train up, which is
shit.
Yeah, you ever see when a whale gets beached and then they go, I don't know what to do. You want to just blow it up, and then they blow up the whale. This is I think in Ohio they couldn't figure out what to do with the train, and they go, hey, do you think the whale guy's busy? Can you get him to come here, and maybe we'll blow the train up, and that will get it back into the ocean.
I wish we had Julie here. Do you see this line that says about how the guy, the second paragraph, love it.
What about that
in an extremely high-pitched voice. My voice sounds like Mickey Mouse. I don't do high-pitch Eric, but if Julie were here.
Hi, Daddy.
That sounds like a catastrophe. What's happened here? I was just sitting here eating cookies and cupcakes.
Look, yeah.
All of a sudden, there's a catastrophe.
Your guest
blow
is
the
here.
train up. Our guest is here. All right, so let's put this story on hold for now, and let's bring in our first guest of the new year. You know this guy from TikTok, not exclusively. You know him as the angry retail guy from IKEA. He's the guy where if you say, "Let me speak to your manager," or "You just lost a customer," it goes straight to his face, and he goes, "Go ahead, shop somewhere else. Do you think my last name is IKEA?" You know him as a stand-up comic, and most recently, most famously now, you know him from the movie Cocaine Bear. The great, my buddy Scott Seiss is back on the show. Scotty, I can't thank you enough for being here, pal.
Kevin, thank you so much for having me, man. Thank you. I came in at the perfect time where you were all pretending to be 8-year-old boys or something. I don't know what was going on.
Well, that's in your writer.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi. I was like, is this the whole podcast? Should I be doing that too?
Yes, 100% you should be. Now that you're a big Hollywood star, I figured I'd check out your writer and requirements for you to be on a show, and it was a green room full of 8-year-old boys. So we wanted to make you feel comfortable.
Oh, yeah. I think mine must have gotten mixed up with someone else's. That's
I don't know what you mean, buddy. We've known each other a while. You love 8-year-old boys. That was the whole thing. I go, hey, man, you're in a movie. What about that time? Remember the 8-year-old boys?
This is going fantastically. I can amplify this, please. Amplify this. Use this on Twitter, for God's sake. Yes.
You're the best, man. Thanks for coming back on, buddy. Congratulations on the movie, dude. It looks absolutely hilarious. And my favorite part of all of this is you told me about this movie probably 3 months ago when you were on the show. And we were talking about how the stand-up industry has changed in terms of late night or Comedy Central half hours or just for laughs are kind of the old relic, and doing things on your own. And you found a niche where, we worked together at Gotham, and I said it on Just Joking before, the pop that you got when you got on stage, and I think someone said, "Oh shit, I know him," just audibly out loud, is very cool to see from a comics perspective. It's what we do this for. So to see you do that is awesome. And then you followed it up. I'm going to call it an exclusive because I don't know if you said it anywhere else, and I'm going to claim that you did it here.
You claim it.
But you announced that you were actually, I'm going to claim it. You're goddamn going to claim it. You announced that you were in a movie because of all of this. It's called Cocaine Bear. Elizabeth Banks directed it.
Yes.
Great movie.
I think he's frozen.
Oh, shit. Damn it.
You were saying about the movie that you're in, Elizabeth Banks.
I'm sure he's saying, it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes still to this day. It's But yes, I am in Cocaine Bear, directed by Elizabeth Banks, who's amazing and hilarious. And I got it because she liked those IKEA videos, just like, she saw them on Twitter, like a lot of other people.
Want to tell us a little bit about the movie?
Yes, here we go. So the movie Cocaine Bear, based on a true story. In the 80s, there was this drug smuggler who would basically his whole thing was that he would get in a plane and he would toss bags of cocaine out of the plane and then parachute down, let the plane crash somewhere. And that was how they smuggled him into the U.S. And one day, he jumped out the plane with a bag of cocaine and his parachute didn't work. And he just face planted in someone's driveway and died. And all of the coke landed in a park where a bear ate all of it. Bear sniffed it out and ate like 70 pounds of cocaine. And that is like the jumping off point for the movie. And the movie kind of imagines, in real life, the bear's heart exploded because it ate 70 pounds of cocaine and no,
that'll happen.
Yeah, no living being can handle that. But the movie is like, well, what if it didn't, what if the bear didn't die and wanted more cocaine and hunted people down to get it? Kevin, you're back. Welcome to your podcast. Welcome to you.
Sorry, that was the wrong one. I was looking for the Wi-Fi one. It looks like
He's so happy to be here,
He's
though.
so
I
happy.
can tell Kevin is very happy to be
I'm
here.
grabbing a screenshot of that.
Am I back?
You're frozen in the best way.
Am I back?
There he is.
Here you are.
Am I back? Am I back on?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys aren't going to believe this. Jeffrey Epstein just knocked on my hotel room after we talked about 8-year-old.
That's like Beetlejuice. If you say that 3 times in a row, just all the secret like cabal of billionaires just come and knock on the door. What do you got in there? Can we get in?
I feel like you swatted me, Scott. Is it is it safe to say you're like, all right, get to the movie?
That's the power. Once you're in a movie, you're allowed to swat someone. Like once a day, you get one free swat.
I feel like I keep breaking up here. This is a nightmare.
I can hear you. I think your video is just frozen.
I swallow cum.
Thank you, Bob.
I love all these effects, dude. These weren't here last time. These are hilarious.
I want this all in the replay of the show. I want everything. I want the ins, the outs. This went completely smoothly until someone from the actual industry came on the show, and then I got kicked off immediately. The debut show of my own podcast. Buddy, I'm so happy for you. Are you having fun with it?
Dude, I'm having a blast. I could not be happier with how it turned out, and especially with how the action scene that I'm in, this like big ambulance chase that you can kind of see a little bit of in the trailer. It's just such a fun, chaotic part of the movie, and I'm just so just grateful that I got to be in it, and Elizabeth Banks and the whole team, and Kyan Kim and Margot Martindale, who I'm in the scene with. Like it just fucking rules. That whole sequence rules, and I mean the movie is phenomenal and super fun, but that ambulance sequence, I'm just so happy that I got to be a part of that, and it's rad, man. Like I got to do stunt work and hang off the back of an ambulance while it was like firing down the road, and there was like a truck following us, like pretending to be the bear. I got to, sit down and have like a motion capture actor pretending to be the bear stand on top of me and like roar in my face. Like it was just wild shit that I never thought I would be doing, when I was in the back of a bar doing an open mic in Baltimore, like 5 years ago or whatever. To be doing that now, it's just so awesome, dude.
That's great, man. Now, how do you feel? Sorry to scare you. I'm also on the show. I didn't know that you knew.
It came out of nowhere.
Listen, buddy, I gotta hang on to someone's coattails around here. How do you feel in the the flow of the show as you know it? The fact that you are now in the movie industry and opening doors for stars like Tom Brady, former football star, to now start doing stand-up comedy. Did you know that you've inspired him to do that?
I didn't realize. What did he drop it? Did he do a drop-in set somewhere or something? Was he at like the cellar? What happened?
So there's a news story that came out that he put off his broadcasting career at Fox Sports for a year to focus on a stand-up comedy career.
Love
and it. Yeah. When asked why, he said it's because I'm divorced and over the hill. No, because this is what you do when your marriage fails, right? You do comedy. And then we were all like, no, you do comedy first and then your marriage fails. That's the order that it's supposed to go.
What are the bits that he's like, how when you have $800 million, like what is the relatable thing Tom Brady puts up on stage?
Yeah.
Like, when you're the richest man and you're good at sports and you're dating a beautiful woman, it's like, what the fuck? This is not what people want to hear, dude.
Oh, no. That's true. It's like the most common thread with stand up and its fans are we're all garbage. And you guys are going to love this. Do you know when you're drafted 33, not even one pick, and then you work your way up to number one and become the greatest football player of all time. What's the deal with that?
What's the deal with that? And everyone in the crowd's like, oh my God, I get that, man. Every day. That is, it's like he is so like the picturesque, like perfect, like clean kind of cut dude. It just doesn't seem like stand-up would be his thing.
No, stand-up seems like Gronk would do it and then get a little too flirty with the green room waitress after the show.
That's right. That's right. Gronk gets canceled one day. You're gonna have him like messaging you for guest spots and shit now, like Tom Brady's. Can I get 5? Can I get 5 at Gotham?
That's so funny. Yeah. Hey man, I'm just coming through. I'm just in town for the NFL Pro Bowl. Here's I've been a comic for a little while. I've done the Dugout in Boston. I've done, I've done Side Splitters in Tampa. You mind if I just like jump on for 5? I could send you some referrals if you need. Do you know Tony Saragusa? That's for me.
You should be like, you know how you have like the $1 a minute like open mics or whatever. You're like, yeah, we're doing a special $800,000 a minute mic tonight. If you could just, you want 4 minutes, like just kind of Venmo me $2.5 million.
Yeah, we're gonna Vinny Cash. I am on my neighbor's Wi-Fi. It's the town of New Orleans. It is a dingy hotel room that I lined up. The debut of the only visuals this show has ever had is happening right now, and I lined it up to be when I am at a wedding in New Orleans. Which, by the way, Scott, if this isn't the most comic shit ever, I had to cancel 2 spots at Gotham on Friday. One of my wife's coworkers is getting married in New Orleans, and the whole trip was booked, and so I canceled 2 spots tonight, and then I have to fly in tomorrow. Is he behind me right now? I fly in tomorrow to drive up from not drive up from New Orleans, but I fly in from New Orleans to drive up to Poughkeepsie, New York, to do an 8:00 show. So I'm going from 83% humidity in New Orleans with a murderer's Wi-Fi going all the way up to Poughkeepsie, New York to do a spot tomorrow.
That's hilarious. Like any other sane person would just be like, just don't do the show. But like comics are like, no, wait, no, I need to do my 10. Okay, this is the most important thing to be possible.
Yeah. I just heard Tom Brady quit comedy after I said all of that.
Tom Brady in like a shitty like budget rental car.
Because no, I can't afford economy plus. Just do mid-size sedan.
No, the club's not helping me with this. Like he loses all his money one week.
Right. Picture Tom Brady sleeping in a comedy condo while the feature tries to sleep with the MC in the room next door.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
He's like, I can hear you guys jerking off over there. Like he's like banging on the wall.
What's up, Joe?
Tom Brady released a statement this morning, actually, and he said since he can't write stand-up comedy, he's going to write for Gino Visconti.
If this isn't the most beautiful blending of a new audience and an old audience in one show, it's the spottiness that you love with the new professionalism that we found. I mean,
Clam Radio.
Scott, did you hear that there was a comic in New York that he got into a confrontation with someone on like the N train or whatever, and which one of these guys is Kevin Dombrowski? That's a fair question. I
can't tell because Kevin's video feed is just 2 pixels. Like it's just 2 bright white.
Right. Let me tell you something. If Scott didn't grow that mustache, you wouldn't be able to tell us apart. So this guy got into a confrontation with someone on the subway and ended up shooting him in the gut and the forearm. Now everyone lived, everyone's fine, But after investigating this guy, they found out that he was a stand-up comic in New York City, and he was scheduled to appear at LOL Comedy Club last Saturday. So the cops were waiting for him to show up to his spot to arrest him for either attempted murder or manslaughter. If that doesn't speak to what you just said before about a comic going, I should know when to call it quits, but I've got to, I'm doing 15 tonight and I got to show up to my spot. This guy's probably now wanted for attempted murder. And he's like, he calls the other comic. He goes, hey, can you switch with me? Because I think the cops are going to expect me at 10:15. But if you switch for my 10:45, I might be able to go and do the spot and get home.
He's like, I really got it. I got a whole new thing about Starbucks I'm working on. I really need this. I can't miss this. I have to go into jail to see if my Starbucks 5 works. What is the what did wait? So he actually showed up for the spot and got arrested.
No, he didn't show up. He ended up fleeing.
Okay.
He ended up fleeing New York. If you're listening to the show like you always do, you have to watch the show live now. We've got all these visuals. I swear to God, it'll be better Wi-Fi next week when I'm not actually in New Orleans below sea level trying to broadcast a radio show. You have to see all the drops and also the chat that's going on. It's absolutely hilarious. It's on the Shuli Network on YouTube. You can check it out every week. He
Kevin
fled
into a watercolor painting.
right. That actually just looks like my headshot for Jazz Fest down here. So he fled. Joe, irony of all of that, if you look up, this guy's name is Leo Cofressi, I think he goes by on Twitter.
Gosh, can you spell that?
LeoCofressi. After you get through all the attempted murder articles that just got picked up, the first picture is him on Gino Visconti's radio show on Compound Media. He was a guest, and there's clips. If you're a fan of In Hot Water, DM me a clip if you can of Leo bragging about how many times he brags about having a gun while he's on Gino Visconti's show. And then, and knowing the news story and going back and watching it, you're like, oh, that guy had a gun the whole time. Those weren't jokes at all. That guy definitely had a gun.
He's just a full-on psycho. Jesus. That's hilarious, though, man. So you didn't know him or anything like that?
No. I searched him because I was like, do I know this dude? I was like, I don't even know what he looks like. And then the first thing that popped up was, of course, him and Gino Visconti, which is unbelievable. There he is. That's the guy that's fleeing.
They should have used they should have put up like a clip from one of his sets or whatever to be like this.
They quoted it. They quoted like one or two of his jokes because I guess he's talking about like gang stuff. And they quoted his jokes, and that guy, whatever town he ends up in. Chad's stepdad said, "What a blessed day! I love my Shuli Network membership. Dabblers are good people. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, Chad's stepdad. Whatever town that guy ends up in, he's going to use that at a mic where he goes, "What do you want me to say?" And he goes, "Just say New York Post."
Featured in New York Post. Don't Google it. Right, he's like, go to page 4 of my Google search results. Actually, that's where you start seeing my set. Go to page 4.
You have to go to the third O in Google to really get to the good stuff.
That is insane.
That's hilarious. Look, I know you're on a limited time budget here, so we're going to head to the last story I picked for you, which I think you're perfect here for. Being that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, I think those are the two that are married. Meghan Markle, can I get a confirmation on that? Yes. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have defected, if you will, from the royal titles and all that. They want to be on their own, and they moved to LA. being that you are now a bona fide movie star, have you found Meghan Markle just put out an article saying that she underestimated her place in Hollywood's pecking order after leaving the Royals family and moving to LA? She said she underestimated where they would be in the pecking order of Hollywood. One, have you underestimated it or overestimated your Hollywood pecking order? And two, have you done lunch with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry yet?
Well, I actually saw her. Her and I were auditioning to be an extra on Succession the other day. I saw her in the room, the waiting room.
Did you really? Are you?
No.
Dude, it's so believable that would be a thing. It's so believable. Oh God, that's hilarious.
She's like, yeah. She's practicing like the one line. She's like, yes, I'll hold your purse or whatever the fuck. I literally did that one. I did an audition for like this like random part on a show where it was like one line where it was like, yes, I'll hold your purse. And then I heard that they just like cut that part. And I was just like, oh God, how funny would it be if like, it's like you walk in, there's like, Meghan Markle auditioning for the same fucking thing. She's like, right. I really thought I was going to get like my own Netflix show immediately.
She really did, Wednesday. Dude. Did you hear in the documentary that they had, they were trying to show like the strife and troubles that they've been through, like as a couple and I don't know, like what they've been going through since marriage and defecting from the Royals, that in trying to get the emotion across, they used footage from when Harry Potter came out, and it was like Beatlemania on the red carpet for all these people. They used that footage and changed like the tone of it for their documentary to show like all the people showing up for them at these events, but it was from the premiere of Harry Potter.
What the fuck? It would be like sad?
Yeah, well, it was just to show like how much they affect like the zeitgeist of the industry.
Up with Tom Brady, dude. They've got some good material. It sounds like.
This is the absolute best. What
I'm just gonna see the router in the background light on fire and just like completely engulf like the New Orleans curtain, that motel curtain that's behind you or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm still broadcasting live.
This show right now is the second biggest tragedy that's happened to New Orleans. The show currently. I heard Chad's upper lip is starting a podcast. Chad's stepdad said, I heard Chad's upper lip is starting a podcast. It could be. Maybe it'll get better Wi-Fi than this show, to be honest. Maybe, to check that out soon.
But dude, Markle, I mean, it's tough, dude. Like, I can imagine that they thought that they were going to be like immediately in Cocaine Bear. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, buddy.
See, you are set for the Hollywood train because you bring it right back around to the promo, right to the consummate professional you are. You can tell this guy's been press trained, Joe. You can tell this guy has been groomed for this moment. Scotty, I know you got to get out. You'll be in for a full show soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Dude, thanks for being on the first video portion of this. You're hilarious. I'm a huge fan, so I appreciate it, pal.
Dude, thank you for having me. It's always a blast. Definitely come back for a full one soon. And congrats on the new network and bringing it back, man. And moving on. Hopefully you'll get some new Wi-Fi soon. Hopefully that's what the network brings.
I just get paid in gigabytes.
Yeah.
Where can people find you online? And give your big Cocaine Bear spiel here.
Here we go. Okay, yes, at Scott Seiss, Seiss on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I've got dates coming up, stand-up dates in Missouri and Rochester and California and Detroit. So check all that out. And then Cocaine Bear is in theaters right now. Check it out. I go through a shit ton of distress in the movie. Like I go through so much shit in the movie. You think like IKEA produced it or something. But this guy through hell. But yeah, so it's super fun. But check it out now. It's great.
Excellent. Well, thanks for being on the show, bud. I'll talk to you soon. All right, man?
Thanks again, man. All right. See you, Kevin.
Thanks, pal.
What are you people?
Huh?
On dope?
Joe and Andy, you want to come back in?
Sure, buddy.
Look at us, huh? Look at us fucking rolling. What
That
is
was
Andy
great.
in a hotel?
No, Andy's in an underground bunker.
Yeah. On the Shilly Network, this is the window of a thousand noises.
This is the flow of the show, guys. That's hilarious to say when he's got a different shirt on.
Yeah,
Andy.
for some of you in the chat that are on different drugs, this is episode 47 on the Shilly Network.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that. Ladies and gentlemen,
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
was it me? Was it me again? This is just joking. This is what the show's going to be week in and week out. We're aiming for
Wi-Fi.
just with better Wi-Fi. I swear to God, there will be better Wi-Fi. What is Gino Visconti saying in the chat? Fentanyl gorilla is the funniest thing I've read. Drop the mic, my friend. I'm stealing that. Print out water Monday and pretending we had this speech to text. What is he saying? And pretending we never had this conversation. Gino Visconti is harvesting. This is how you know. Chad's stepdad got to show some support. Thanks, guys. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. This is how you know Gino Visconti's career is in the shitter. He's stealing material from a show with zero Wi-Fi. And that's Gino Visconti fishing, my friends. No, this is what the show's going to be. Riffing on news stories.
I'll have a Visconti Watch 2023 graphic for next time.
I can't wait for that, honestly. Tune in every Friday. We're aiming for 2 p.m. As I said, if there's a time change, we'll let you know on that. If you're an existing fan, thanks for your patience on us getting off the ground with the visual aspect. Gino Visconti, which is actually, believe it or not, Gino Visconti is his stage name. Gino Visconti is his government given name. Most people don't know that. If you check his birth certificate, it's Eugene Visconti. And that's a fun fact for you guys. That's some behind the scenes. That's a Gino watch for this week. We will be back next week at 2 p.m. Wi-Fi Dombrowski will be a new character on In Hot Water. That's probably true, to be honest. I'm going to take everything I've ever made on In Hot Water, and I'm going to put that towards a hamster and a wheel. And I'm going to plug my laptop into that hamster wheel and hope the Wi-Fi is better than the entire city of New Orleans. We'll be back next week. They can't be paying these guys. That's
Apparently
true.
They think we're volunteers. None of us have mortgages or families or anything. We all just sit around here all day doing this for free.
That's 100% true.
Yeah, actually, that's how it works. We pay Shuli to work here.
Right. It's similar. It's similar to when you're a barber and you rent the chair, or when you're a cab driver and you owe the fare. You owe $1,000 per week, and you have to hustle those rides. We'll get as many guests as we need to pay off the rent of this time slot. I can guarantee you guys that. Leo. Yeah, there it is. Leo Gunn, $2 said I discovered Kevin on In Hot Water. Thanks, Gino. That's the only thing we can thank Gino for. If I might say so. Look, I hate myself, but I would like to thank Gino for discovering myself on his show as well. That's been a wild ride. We will be back next Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can check out my Instagram at Kevin Dombrowski Comedy. You can follow me on Facebook at Kevin Dombrowski. Follow me on TikTok, Kevin Dombrowski Comedy. And follow me on Twitter, Kevin Dombrowski. I like to go in and out of the comedy and just my normal self, if you've noticed the trend in the plugs there. You could check that out. I look just like that on stage. I look confused and boxy for some reason. Next week's guest will be the great Jackie Martling. Will be on next week. So fitting right in line with the Shuli Network here as we get back on our feet. Thank you guys for tuning in. Come back if you're a fan of the show. Thanks for hanging in. We'll see you next week. No interviews, no arguments, just jokes. Come on back.